This is another outsourcing type of decision that this Craft Snowboarding is faced with, and they have an offer where they can buy the bindings for a cost of $14 for the bindings, $1 for the transportation costs, and 20 cents to add the additional logo. So you're given information in the problem where it's telling you how much they're spending on direct materials, direct labor, and your variable overhead. And here we're including our fixed overhead because it's changing. If the fixed overhead wasn't going to be changing, you wouldn't include it in your analysis, but because your fixed overhead is going to be lower by buying the bindings, then it becomes relevant. So you do use it in this case in your analysis. And what we're told in the problem is that you can actually save $2,000 in overhead by purchasing your bindings from outside. So that's why we're using that. So in this case, when you add up all of the costs, so what we have is we are having our fixed costs differ under make versus buy. So now if we are going to buy the product for $14, it's 1,800 units times your 1,400, which is where you're getting your 25,200. We have transportation costs of $1 for each of the 1,800 units, $1,800. And the logo is 20 cents times your 1,800 units, $360. You add up all of the costs to make it, it comes out to be $29,500 compared to the cost of buying it, which is more, which is $31,960. So here you would not actually go ahead and buy the bindings. You would continue to make the bindings because it's cheaper. So even though you are saving a bit in overhead, you're not saving enough to balance out or make up for the increased cost in terms of buying the bindings. So requirement 2 is asking us to look at a slightly different scenario, and requirement 2 is telling us that the facilities freed up by purchasing the bindings can be used to make another product that would give the company $3,100 in a contribution margin. So now we have, again, our same cost, so we'll just move down to the next scenario. So here you'll see that in this situation, we're still having the same cost to make it, but now we're faced with a slightly different scenario. So here is leaving the facilities idle is the same as the previous problem, but now what we're saying here is we can, by outsourcing, we can actually use our facilities. Because we're buying the product, we have the capacity now to make something else. That something else is going to give us an extra $3,100, but because we're using the facilities to make something else, our fixed cost cannot be reduced to this $4,600. So our fixed cost is going to stay at $6,800. So what this means is, even though we can use the idle facilities, we're not able to reduce our fixed costs now. Therefore, the total is $31,060 compared to the cost to make it yourself, $29,500. Again, the decision would be to continue to make the product yourself rather than outsource. And that concludes problem 8-50.